Unlike the United States, Kenyan society does not have a safety net for people that are less fortunate. So kids, if they weren't in this home, a lot of them realistically would be dead by now. If they did survive, they'd be living on the street, begging, going through garbage dumps, stealing, living a life of subsistence that would just be incredibly challenging to comprehend coming from an American perspective.
When we start telling the story of Children with Hope, one thing that we like to mention to folks is how Children with Hope really began. We did not feel equipped, we did not feel prepared, we were not these super missionary type people. We started talking about having this sense from the Lord that maybe it's time for us to do more, time to step out of our comfort zone. So we were able to surround ourselves with a variety of friends who just met with us, prayed with us, to try to figure out what really God was trying to say to us. And after a period of time of thought and prayer, we realized that God was calling us to work with orphans in Kenya.
Children with Hope is a nonprofit Christian organization that cares for orphans in Eldoret, Kenya.
So really what sets it apart is that it's a home where other homes would have maybe hundreds of children, where it is like an institution. Tobiah Home is small, and the children are loved individually, they're known by name, they're loved by name, and they're cared for from being little infants till they're desired through teenage years until their adult years.
Really love the idea that they're being raised by Kenyans and being raised to be Kenyans.
One giant happy family is the best way to describe it, I think.
And they're children that are being taught to help each other, to love each other, to depend on God, to get them through the day when they need to. And most of the time you see those children just laughing and being children, which is what they needed to be.
How can we best prepare these children for an entire life in Kenya, not just the next couple of years, but for becoming productive citizens of Kenya, knowing both languages and knowing how to operate in that world as an orphan.
Joyous comes to mind also, and just full of life and full of energy.
Our hope is that each child will establish their own Christian families, which will in turn dynamically impact the country of Kenya. At Tobiah Home, each child is raised to become an important member of Kenyan society. Because of the love of the family unit, the spiritual foundation, and the excellence in education, children are becoming equipped to positively impact their nation.
It's small, it's efficient, it's loving, it's caring, and that's one of the things I think that makes it very special.
So our hopes and dreams are not just to raise kids for survival. That certainly is where it begins, but our hopes and dreams, and we believe God's blessing on these kids goes way beyond that. Our hopes for these children are that they will become the leaders of Kenya for tomorrow.
Children with Hope's Tobiah Home not only needs to continue doing what they're doing, but they need to grow with the children who are already there, because their needs are going to change as time goes on.
We've had to pass up some excellent opportunities for real estate for a school because we don't have the cash on hand and we don't want to go into debt.
We will be building a second addition onto the original house that we have so that we can house the boys in one house and the girls in the second house, kind of separating them as they grow older. The other thing that we're hoping to do is purchase some land where we can build a Christian school so that we can move the children off of the campus and actually start being a blessing to the community as well with a good educational system for people to come to as well.
We see them impacting Eldoret City. We see them transforming the city in the leadership and all that God has given them. With the quality of education they will have at Tobiah Home, with all the resources they have right now and they will have in future, they have a great potential for them to be good men and women who will lead the society in many, many areas.
There are many organizations that you're not sure where your dollars really end up as far as charitable giving is concerned. And with Children of Hope, I know that it goes to feeding and clothing and educating, housing these children that were orphans, throwaway children in that African society.
Our books are open, our meetings are open. You can set up meetings with anyone on the board, and we can tell you about our work in Kenya.
Children with Hope is a great way to support orphans in Kenya, where I believe Kenya is closed to international adoption.
So that's important to us to be able to provide that climate for that child to grow to know Christ and to have a safe and nurturing home, which a lot of orphans don't.
Rather than just like donating to a charity, you're like interacting with a person, and so that's really different.
Yeah, we get to see who we're sponsoring, where our money's going, and we get to watch them grow and hopefully be a part of their lives for a very long time, which is a really special thing.
I gave orange trees and Caleb gave the avocado tree.
Avocado and orange trees. Perfect. So what can they do with those?
They can eat them.
There's such a multifaceted way that you can be of value and can help. So just talk to somebody that has experienced that and see what touches your heart, whether it's your hands, your prayers, or your finances. There's a lot of way to contribute.
We are raising up a nation through them. We are molding up a society that will help Kenya eventually in future. When you invest your time and money, you are bringing life to them. You are bringing a hope.
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 Hope.